everybody. Welcome to our Holiday Survival 2019 Challenge. I am really excited to be kicking off the first of our 7 segments to get you through the holiday season. My goal is to not only help you survive the holidays, but to thrive during the holidays. And whether you're trying to lose or maintain, I think this program is for you. So thank you for joining us and being part of this program today. I'm Jennifer Seven. I'm the owner of Seven Company Weight Loss and Wellness Center, and I've been helping people lose weight, thousands of people lose weight over the last 10 years. And I know what it takes. I work on my own weight all the time, and I know what the struggles are, especially during this holiday season. So we're going to get started. I first of all wanted to share with you about a study, a new weight loss study, and it was from the Journal of American Medicine. It tells us that there is just one thing that we need to be able to do in order to lose weight. Isn't that interesting? Just one thing. Well, I would love it if you would take a moment and comment or chat with me and tell me what you think that one thing is. What do you think the one thing is that will help us lose weight? Okay, so while you're commenting and chatting, I'm going to continue and share a little statistic with you. Currently, 70% of the population is struggling with being overweight. 70% of the population is struggling with being overweight. That's quite a lot. 30% of the population are at a healthy weight. Okay, I am looking at some comments and some chats. Okay, I see some ideas of what that one thing could be. It looks like we've got eat less. We've got accountability, eat low carb, and ideal protein. Yes, I love that one. Thank you for sharing that. So the U.S. Preventative Task Force on Obesity says that it is not what you do or what you eat that's going to help you lose weight. People fail because they don't have a structure. They don't have a plan in place, and they don't have face-to-face to help them develop that structure. Face-to-face with a coach is better and has been proven to help people be more successful in losing the weight than trying to do it on their own. It's very difficult to do it on your own. Think about weight as a condition that has to be managed, much like, I hate to call it like a disease, but much like a disease has to be managed. For example, diabetes. Diabetes can't, if it's type 1 diabetes, is not something that can be cured. It has to be managed. So you have to treat it that way. It's not ever going to go away. Now, weight, think about it, really is kind of the same thing, because we have to eat to live. We have to eat food. So we can't get rid of food. We can never just say, well, you know what? We just won't ever eat again, and then I won't have to worry about my weight. We have to eat to live. So food is always going to be part of our lives. So we have to learn how to manage our food, manage what we eat in order to manage our weight, to be able to stay at a healthy weight and to live a healthy lifestyle. So that's what this is all about. We're trying to empower you with tools to be able to manage your weight so that you can live a healthy lifestyle. Can't cure it. Can't cure eating. You have to eat. So we have to manage it. This masterclass is about, as I said earlier, helping you not just to survive the holidays, but to thrive. We want to be able to enjoy our lives. We want to be able to enjoy the holidays. So I've got ideas and things for you to do. You have to remember that this is the most edible time of the year. From Halloween to January 2nd, the most edible time of the year. Did you know that the average American gains most of their annual weight gain during this time period. 70% of the population, that 70% we were talking about before, just eat their way through the holidays. 30%, and that's you all. And I'm so proud of you for being here because it means you're taking control and you are going to learn to do this differently. 30% of the population, you do it differently. So we have to make a plan. And I'm going to break down this plan into action items to help you be successful during the season. And as I said before, thrive, not just survive. So step one, I want you to connect with your coach. This is very important that you make the decision to connect for that accountability, for that structure. Remember what we said earlier, that one thing that's going to help you be successful is to be connected and have a structure and a coach. If you don't have a coach, certainly you're welcome to get a coach from 7 Company, but find a friend, get an accountability buddy, and make a plan together. You can do this. Make a plan, and I want you to write it down. So step 2 is to know what your goal is. What exactly do you want to accomplish during this holiday season? Do you want to continue losing weight and stay on your plan if you're on a weight loss plan? Do you want to just maintain where you're at? And that's okay too, but knowing that you're making a conscious decision that I'm going to maintain where I'm at? Or do you want to gain a few pounds? Well, we hope, I don't want to hear you say is that you want to gain a lot of pounds, because that's not a good thing. So you're going to set a goal, you're going to make a plan. And the other thing I want you to think about is why you're doing this. Why did you choose to do this plan? What's your why? And what's that going to feel like? If your why is to lose the weight because you want to have this healthy new body by 2020, or you've got an event, or you're going on a trip, know what your why is and how that why is going to feel. And write down your feelings, because it's really important when we're doing weight loss to be tapped into our feelings, because it's the feeling that's going to keep you going. Okay, so knowing your goal and your why. Think about it, write it down. And then I want you to share that, chat that with me. Don't be afraid to put it out there, what plan you're thinking about choosing. So, okay, good. I'm gonna stay on track. I'm gonna lose. Simply want to maintain. Okay, no, I don't want to hear anybody saying we're gonna gain 10 pounds, okay? Step 3 is making the plan. As Winston Churchill said, failing to plan is planning to fail. So we have to be thoughtful and mindful about what we're going to do. I'm going to give you 3 approaches, and I want you to choose one for how you're going to plan for this holiday season. The first one is the Iron Will Approach. The Iron Will Approach is, I am staying on my plan and I'm not going to deviate, and I'm going to continue to lose during this holiday season. Now, that means no deviations, okay? But make that choice, write it down. Now, if you are doing the Ideal Protein Weight Loss Program and you're in the early weeks of it, or you're getting close to your goal, I recommend this approach. When you're first starting this and your body is just getting into ketosis and you're starting to feel really good and you're not so hungry and your cravings are diminishing, if you go off of it and then try to go back on, as I said before, we put thousands of people through this. It's really hard to get back on, especially during this time of year when there's so many temptations. But if you're in that ketosis and you're not having all this, the cravings, and you're not hungry and you feel really good, stick with it. Stick with it, and you'll be so much more successful. You'll feel so good about yourself by the time you get on the other side of the holidays. The second time is when you're getting near your goal. It's really tough if you're almost there and you go off prematurely and you haven't gotten to your goal. It's really tough, again, to get back on. So you're so close. And if you're using the ideal protein method, there is a phase-off procedure, because as you're coming out of ketosis, we want to really be reintroducing foods in a very specific way to continue to keep your body in a fat burning state rather than going back to fat storage. And it's really key to your ultimate success and maintenance that you do this properly. So you don't want to just go off cold turkey. That's never good. You want to phase off properly. So that's the first piece I want to say. But also, if you're so close, just keep your head in the game and finish. And remember, you've had many Thanksgivings and many Christmas holidays, or whatever your December holiday might be, and you will have many more in the future. It doesn't have to be all about the food. Thanksgiving is just one day. We can turn that holiday into celebrating family, celebrating our loved ones, having fun, doing activities that aren't all revolving around food. We can do this. And if you're almost there, won't you feel great if you get through it? You take the Iron Will approach and you get on the other side of it and you get to your goal instead of going off, maybe gaining a couple pounds, and then it's so hard to get back on. And then you just say, oh, forget it. I got this close. I don't need to get the rest of the way. Or I'll get back on in January. Then January comes and you don't. So my recommendation, again, if you're close to your goal, stick with it. Don't bail just because it's the holidays, okay? There will be many more holidays. Have a holiday after you get to your goal and celebrate. Okay, so the second approach is 1 day, 1 pass for one thing. Actually, it's like 1 pass for one thing approach. So I'm thinking 1 day because I'm thinking about Thanksgiving. So you make a plan, again, with your coach on each approach. I want you to make a plan with your coach or your accountability person. You're going to write it down and you're going to say, okay, Thanksgiving is really important to me. And the most important thing that I want to be able to indulge in on Thanksgiving Day is pumpkin pie, or it's the mashed potatoes, or it's a glass of wine. And I really want to be able to have that on that day. If I can have that, I will feel happy. I will feel complete. I won't feel deprived. I will feel successful. Okay, that's an approach. So what you're going to do is you're going to talk it through with your coach and you're going to say, okay, pumpkin pie is the most important thing to me. So I am going to write a contract with my coach. But remember, this contract is really for you, that I'm going to only indulge in a piece of pumpkin pie. Now remember, that doesn't mean the whole pumpkin pie or half the pie or the inside of the pie and with ice cream and whipped cream and chocolate syrup on it. It's a piece of pie, a reasonable piece of pie. Or if it's mashed potatoes, it's not a whole bowl of mashed potatoes, it's a serving. Or it's a glass of wine, it's not the whole bottle. So you're going to write it down. And then I want you to super enjoy that. So, okay, so you're being mindful. I've made a conscious decision as to what Thanksgiving is going to look like. I'm going to have that piece of pie, and then I am going to eat it slowly. I'm going to chew it. I'm going to taste it. I'm going to smell it. I'm going to look at it. Look how pretty that pumpkin pie is. Look at the texture of it. I want you to slow down, and really mindfully enjoy whatever it is that you have chosen as your indulgence for that day. Make it worth it. Make it worth it that you're going off your plan for this. The second really important piece to this is that you make an agreement. Part of this contract agreement commitment with your coach is that the following day, Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, has to be a perfect, if you're on the Ideal Protein program, a perfect phase 1 day. That means a low carb day. If you do that, then you won't gain from that one indulgence on Thursday, and it's not going to wreak havoc on your entire plan. So on Friday, and actually Friday going forward, you're back on your phase 1 day, your low carb, low fat eating. What we don't want to have happen is that you have the indulgence on Thursday and then you say, oh, well, since I blew it on Thursday, I'm going to indulge on Friday and then Saturday and then Sunday. And then it becomes a whole weekend. Hogwild approach. You don't want to do that. It's each day is a new day. Let's get back on track. The third part of this controlled indulgence, controlled deviation is that on Monday, you make an appointment to get back in there and see your coach and do your weigh-in. We have found, again, through having put thousands of people through their weight loss programs, that those that don't show up the next week for their appointment have not followed their plan. And then what happens is they're off and they're on the slippery slope and they've indulged that weekend. They don't come back in, they don't get back on track, and then they decide, well, it's December and there's all these activities and occasions and celebrations and food, so forget it. I'm sick of trying to do this and I'll just come back in January. And then it becomes the 5 to 10 to 15 pound weight gain during the holidays. You've worked too hard. Don't let this happen to you. That's really the Hogwild approach. We don't want to take that approach. This is about you making conscious decisions and choices about what this holiday is going to look like. It doesn't have to be a big weight gain. Stay in the 30%, not the 70%. So make that appointment, come in that week, and show up. And show up for yourself, not just for your coach. You're showing up for you. Okay? Third approach, the Hogwild approach, which I'm just going to tell you is not an option. Okay, I don't want anyone doing this program to decide that they're on the Hogwild approach. If you choose that approach, you really don't need to be part of the program because you're not going to use the tools that we're giving you. Don't be that. Be mindful, iron will, or controlled indulgences throughout the season. You can make this plan. Okay, you're doing it for you. Okay. All right, so chat me and tell me, or comment below and tell me what your approach is going to be. And I'd really like to see some of those iron will approaches and some of those 1 pass, 1 day, one bite, 1 meal, 1 dish approaches. Okay, all right. Okay, good. Thanks. And that's, I want you to think about that, write it down. Okay, so let's recap. It's really important for you to connect with your coach or someone that can be your accountability partner. And you're going to write this down. It's really important you put it in writing. And I would suggest that you write this down and post it in a variety of places that you can see what your approach is and be kind to yourself about it. This is a season where you will be bombarded with food ads. When you go in the grocery stores, everything has all the holiday foods and all the goodies and the special candies and the special drinks and the special cookies and cupcakes and cakes and everything. So if you have this in your mind and you've made a conscious choice, remind yourself of it. Identify your triggers. If alcohol is a trigger for you, try to stay away from it. What happens often is if we indulge in the wine, then our inhibitions get a little loose, and then suddenly we're eating things we shouldn't be eating. If it's ice cream, if it's pie, if it's cookies, know what your triggers are. Make a plan for how you're going to try not to indulge in them. Decide if you're losing, staying the same, or gaining. Okay, and I say if you decide you just want to maintain and you gain 1 or 2 pounds, it's not too bad for a holiday season. What we don't want to have happen is that it becomes 5 to 10 to 15 pounds. Okay, you don't want to go there. So make your plan. Get ready. We've got a lot of great things going on for the next 7 weeks. Make sure you have connected with the Facebook group, Holiday Challenge 2019. We're going to be posting all kinds of recipes, and I want you all to engage and be a community of support for each other, help each other. I'd love for you to go on the group and post what your plan is going to be, whichever plan it is, and maybe your why, what your goal is for the next 7 weeks. I would like you to pick an affirmation, share your affirmation, post your affirmation. You should have a whole list. They came in with your week 1 checklist. Pay attention to your checklist. There's a worksheet following this masterclass that you should have received, and it's all about which plan you're choosing. I want you to fill that out and go over it with your coach so that you are very clear in your mind what your plan is for the next 7 weeks. Next week, we're going to be having a Facebook Live cooking demonstration with traditional Thanksgiving dishes that are low-fat, low-carb. So I hope you will tune in and be part of the Facebook group, because that's where we'll be showing it. Lots of yummy things that you can eat that are delicious and are low-fat, low-carb. I think we need to know that things don't have to be high-fat or high sugar or high carb in order to taste good. So look for that. We've got lots of just really good things coming. So get involved. The more involved you are, the more we support each other as a community, the more successful that we will be during this challenging holiday season. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining and being part of our Holiday Survival Challenge. We can do this. You've got this. It's going to be lots of fun. Next week, we're going to have a masterclass on social occasions, how to navigate all of the social occasions that are coming through in the next 7 weeks. Holiday parties, work parties, lunches, cookie exchanges, ornament exchanges. There's just so many things that we pack into the holiday season, and usually there's going to be a lot of temptation with food and drink. So we're going to tackle that next week. I hope you all will tune in and make it a fantastic week. And I love you guys. Thank you for being part of it, and I will see you next week.